What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Stocks by the Numbers, and today I'm jumping back into my new series of How'd I Do? Let's review. And I originally made a video here talking about Palantir Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR, listed here on the New York Stock Exchange. I made the original video, I'm looking now, back on May 11th, okay, so about 7 months ago. Now, in that video, I said that the revenue that they were bringing in did not match up with the current valuation of the company, and I discussed a 40% sell-off where this is technically like a $4 or $5 stock. Right now, as we can see, the stock is sitting here at 6.5 even. We're closed up a little over 3% on the day, and let's see if I was right. Well, first of all, as we can see, 52-week low here, 604. So obviously it didn't get down to 5 and change, sub 5 like I had predicted. However, again, more of a long-term prediction. It has been 6 or 7 months. So maybe in another 6 or 7 months we could potentially see the sell-off even more. I know technically on paper I am not correct. However, as you can see, today it opened and dropped to a low of 604, which is a new 52-week low here of 604. So I actually do feel, even though they just got this award here of $75 million, again, we're doing deals 70, 90 million, but we're talking tens of billions of dollars, right? That's the discrepancy I'm talking about. Not knocking the company, not knocking their software, anything they bring to the table here for these defense companies or anything, but overvalued, right? So, we come down here, let's look at some of the numbers here. Again, operating at a loss like every other company we see, but revenue slightly increasing quarter over quarter. You can't knock it. However, the losses are, this is what throws me for a loop, right? So it doesn't make any sense. The more money they bring in, the more money they lose, right? Whatever. But we move over here annually. As you can see, for last year, a little over $1.5 billion, and we're sitting at a market cap now at $13.5 billion, right? So obviously that's trading at a massive multiple there. What's that, like 7.5, 8 times? So it's actually more than 8 times, almost 9 times. But that's why, in my opinion, this thing could seriously pull back. We pull up a year-to-date chart, as you can see, down 65%. This is a company, let's max chart it actually. This is a company, as you can see, came out, I believe it was maybe like 7.5 where they got priced. They came out, yeah, they were trading at like 9 and change, maybe close to like $10. And then basically, the word spread. This was like the new company. They started signing a couple of deals. Not many people were looking at valuations. It was an IPO. They signed some deals. Boom, stock exploded up to like $40 a share or something, if I remember correctly. And then obviously has basically been in free fall, with a couple of bumps since that point. Year to date, again, down 65%. Very, very volatile situation here. Why? Because again, you have short-term traders, trying to play a pop. You have long-term traders who might be potentially shorting the stock on the other side. Because again, they're signing deals and whatnot, but again, it's just not matching up to the current valuation. And that's why I just think this market cap is too high. And, believe me, if this thing pulled back to like 3 and change or like low 4s, I would probably jump in and buy it, right? Because they probably got, some decent software. They're consistently signing deals and, getting these agreements awarded to them, both domestic and internationally. So, you can't knock their business and what their service actually brings to the table. But what you can knock is the value of the company, right? This is TradingView. This is the day I made the video right here, May 11th. Right? Was that May 11th? Oh, no, wait. It's showing me May. What the hell happened? Oh, no. No. We want 22. Go to. Boom. There we go. Okay. Now, so as we can see, we were down here basically where we're currently trading, right? We were at like high 6s or something. And as you can see, in the immediate short term, I got that dead wrong, right? Because everyone and their brother basically felt that the stock was undervalued at that point. And if you listened to me and stayed away, you missed out on short term almost 100%, right? So not too excited about that. However, again, this is why I prefer to look at long-term investments as opposed to short-term volatile trades, right? Because 2 months after I said don't buy it, right, you could have jumped in the comment section and said, ah, man, you completely got this one wrong. You know, I bought shares when you told me not to. I'm up 85%. Boom, you know, and you guys can tell I'm an honest guy. I'm straightforward. I would have immediately said, like, yeah, you know, it was a bad call on the timing. You know, good call for you. Glad you made some money. But, you know, overall, I'm still skittish about the stock. And then you see earnings come out. A slight beat on the revenue side, but massive miss on the EPS side, right? And again, people get excited when a company like this will slightly beat earnings. First of all, they barely beat earnings. Second of all, again, 430 million extrapolated 4 quarters is 1.6, 1.7 billion for the year. They're not making money off of that 1.7 billion, and they have a market cap of 13.5 billion. That's my point. That's why I'm not knocking their business, but this stock should be significantly pulling back. And as you can see, they rode it up into earnings, which is usually what happens with a lot of these companies, which is why you buy into earnings and sell before earnings, in my opinion, unless you're very confident about the numbers that the company's going to post. As you can see, bounced around. They brought it all the way down to the low 7s, got it back up to 9 again, going into earnings. And again, look, very, very slight beat on the revenue side, massive miss on the EPS side. Right? So that's what I'm saying. A company like this, in my opinion, should not be rewarded. Even a massive run-up like this, from low 7s up to 11.5 going into earnings, there is no way it should have had that run-up. And they beat on the revenue side and still got smacked the heck up. That's what I'm saying. These stocks really don't trade realistically. And that's why when you see, you know, an overvalued company like this, and then it just starts to have a massive run-up into an astronomical level, you know, again, it is risky. Nothing's set in stone, but, you know, if you have a situation like this and you do have the ability to potentially, like, short some shares, or, you know, again, like, look here, this was August. If you bought, you know, 4, 5, 6 months out, you bought some puts, you're absolutely dancing right now, right? At 11.5, you probably could have got like $9 or $8 puts out here to December, January for probably pretty cheap, you know? And now it didn't even take, you know, I mean, look at this. This was, what, a month later, the stock goes from 11.5 to low 7s, right? So you would have been dancing in the street. But again, you know, we're never going to catch every trade and investment. We're never going to buy it the low and sell at the absolute high. But overall, as you can see, it has been rocky. A couple of crappy quarters, in my opinion, even though they slightly beat on the revenue side. And it's been fighting and bouncing off these fib levels, and as of late has pulled back and hit a new low today of 604. And if I pull up year to date, what was I looking at? 3-month chart? Here it is, the 3-month chart here showing the fib levels. Look at that. Spiked down immediately at the open there, hit the new low, 604, bounced off the fib level and had a little bit of a revival there, back up to about 6.5. But in my opinion, what is this, 654 or whatever this fib is at? In my opinion, it should hit that fib, 654, and continue to pull back and sell off, and eventually break this fib that it bounced off of, the new low 604, and start dropping into the 5s. And again, my original analysis, if we do break into like low 5s or like mid 4s, then I will potentially consider jumping in onto this company. But I understand the appeal, you know, software company, you know, American company, Peter Thiel, you know, the company's only a few dollars a share. Like, I understand the appeal and I understand the long-term attractiveness. But again, like I always say on this channel, it's all about pricing and timing. Why force myself into a stock at 6.5 when I can be patient, potentially miss a short-term rally, but get in on a big sell-off where it deserves to be, in my opinion, and I buy shares at 4.5 as opposed to 6.5. I am that much better positioned for not only the short term, but the long term. And I'm going to leave it there, because even stock charts, like I said, you know, MACD slightly pulling back here. We're kind of dwindling, selling off here, bouncing off the bottom Bollinger Band. You can see the 250-day moving averages just slowly decreasing with the trend of the stock here. low RSI on the weekly. But again, a company like this in this situation, I personally would not be a buyer. And now you're looking at the MACD looking like it's going to potentially cross and break down and head downwards here on the weekly. So that's what I'm saying. This might be creating the perfect storm here going into the ball dropping for the new year, and you might be able to buy this stock very soon at a more realistic price at a heavily discounted share price. I don't know, kind of mumbled there at the end, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So, got it kind of right. In the short term was wrong, but we're kind of right. We're heading in the right direction, so we'll keep an eye on it. So, once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop it down in the comments section. I'm usually very quick to reply. Just like everyone on YouTube says, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Helps out the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. And again, I wish everyone success. I hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.